I have with me Captain Mohan Ranganathan, a renowned aviation safety expert as well as a pilot instructor. So, Captain, could you please help us understand what may have happened on board yesterday?
The only piece of information that I had is the video, which is the CCTV footage, which was released by the airport, which shows that the aircraft might have suffered either bird ingestion in both engines, or it could be a foreign object damage. Some debris which has fallen on either side of the runway. It could have been sucked in. So, based on the statement of that injured passenger who survived, and also one of the passengers who was on board who had sent a video to his family in Gatwick, that they heard a loud noise around 30 seconds after liftoff. So it's quite likely it could be either an FOD damage or a bird ingestion, which would have resulted in the compressor stall and a partial power loss. And that noise could have unsettled the pilots. So they would have been probably concentrating on that. And they probably forgot to take the landing gear up, which increased. That is what is evident from the video.
Okay.
And with partial thrust, a fully loaded aircraft and 40 plus degrees outside temperature, the climb will be very, very shallow. And with the thrust loss, that make it worse. And because the gear was down, the drag penalty, the aircraft wouldn't have climbed too much. And that must have, when they saw the building into which they crashed, there must have been a bit of the tension there. And that's why the Mayday call was given, which indicates there was imminent danger. And they crashed into the building. The only thing is, because it had more than 100 tons of fuel, the way you could see that image with the tail intact, but the rest of the aircraft is burnt out. The fuel tank, both sides are full for the long flight. And I understand the fuel was splashed almost 250 meters all around. And just a single spark would have been enough to ignite that fuel. And that's why everything is completely charged. And the only saving grace is that the DFTR and CVR are intact because it was in the tail section. So they should not take time to decode them. Internationally, most countries will be able to bring out a preliminary report within 2 weeks. But going by the track record of Indian DGCA, you can expect the report in 2027.
And Captain, you have been a very strong votary of, upgrading the safety systems of the Indian aviation system as a whole. You've written countless articles on it, and even about this Ahmedabad airport, I recall you telling me that you had been constantly highlighting about the need to improve safety there. So would you like to say how anything about it? How can we go ahead now to improve the safety aspects?
See, to improve the safety, the first thing that the DGCA has to realize that he's a regulator and not a facilitator. Right now, the DGCA dances to the airlines as well as the ministry. And like even the recent FTTL thing, where one part is to be implemented from 1st June, another from 1st November. It shows that they are clueless about what is required, what is fatigue. And even in this crash, I'm really curious to find out what was the duty periods that the pilots had prior to the thing. And another violation of the statement issued, they gave the names of the crew. you would never give the name of the crew in an
Okay.
accident investigation. That's a serious violation.
Mm.
And it just shows that they are not even aware of what is the NX 13 standards. So,
Okay.
because the DFDR and CVR are found out and NTSB and UK AAIB is involved, there is hope that something will come out soon.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you so much
Okay.
for taking time out to speak with us. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.